Before I started working with you, I was noticing that my symptoms around mostly leading up to and on the first day of my period were really like uncomfortable, and I had kind of just accepted like this is the way it is. But it was getting really bad, and it was like noticeably getting worse, and I was having really bad really bad bloating, really like much worse moodiness than I had ever noticed before, physical pain and like stomach pain and just like pain all over the place, like headaches. It was just like I didn't want to get out of bed, and I heard you sharing a story about a client that you worked with who you totally transformed her issues around her period and women's reproductive health and all that, and that kind of got me to thinking like, oh, I didn't think that the symptoms that I was having were something that I could do anything about, because I thought that hormonal birth control was like the only possible way to deal with it, and I didn't want to be on that, so I hadn't been on it for a long time. It had just my symptoms kept getting worse, so when I heard your story, it made me think, oh, I need to come check this out. Like almost immediately after working together, I started feeling like the symptoms were significantly reduced leading up to my period, and especially on the first day. Like that was the most noticeable difference, because I literally used to have like pain and like this heaviness and just like really so uncomfortable. And that just all of a sudden one day I was like, oh wait, I just realized that I hadn't even felt that. And my stomach wasn't hurting, and I felt like I could go out, and it was like more regular, and yeah, and so that was one of the biggest differences. If I hear women talking about their period symptoms being really uncomfortable, I would say, oh, you should go check out my awesome acupuncturist Erin, who I've said this to people before. I said like my symptoms basically went from being like so bad that I could barely leave the house, and if I did I was really uncomfortable, I felt sick, to feeling totally fine. It's no longer uncomfortable, and it's also now it's more regular. I have way less moodiness, way less bloating, and little to no pain, and my period is regular, and I felt like it was really taking over like most of my month. I had like 1 week before that it was like not an issue, and now I feel like it's just like, okay, like it's manageable in this one little week that I experienced. I would say, yeah, you should go see her, because it actually is possible to change, to make your period not miserable. I mean, everybody that I know that you work with is lovely and super friendly, very helpful, knowledgeable, professional, warm, inviting. Scheduling is always super easy. Oh, I love it here. Like when I've been the last person here, I just like end up sitting and chatting and like hanging out and drinking tea. And my husband came once, and he was sitting here hanging out with us. It's just like, it's very comfortable. It's a very warm, comfortable. It feels like a healing energy to the space, and I love coming here as a core part of my self-care, even when I'm not actually coming to like deal with an issue. But I also love knowing that when I feel sick now, like outside of my period stuff, if I just feel like under the weather, or I have a sore throat, or when I throw my back out, which has happened a couple times, I just come here and like you fix everything. So I am comforted in knowing that I have you, that you can help me with those things in a way that's holistic. And again, I just like being in the space, and I like you and your staff, and I thought there was something else I was gonna say, but I guess that's it.